Hi, I'm Cheryl Falkner, and I am going to be training and teaching today on how to package your story. My husband and I actually started with Pure in September of 2010. We are currently Chairman Black Diamonds, and I'm excited that you're here learning. You know, our stories are very important, and my husband and I have actually been in the industry for over 20 years, and I've heard a lot of teachings, a lot of trainings on how to package your story. You know, it's really the question that everyone asks me. What do you say? You know, and I want to just kind of share with you that it's not a script. You know, there's not one perfect invitation. There's not one perfect sentence that we all can copy and repeat and have success. I think that what is important here to understand is that your story is your story. Your story is different than mine. We all have to be proud of our story. And so what I'm going to teach on today is something that's been around for many, many years. And my goal is for you to take a few things, write them down, implement into your own personality, your own style, take it, use it. And when you see that working and you have success, then you're in a position to really have confidence in that and then begin to teach your team the same thing. And so what I've got is a PowerPoint we're going to follow through together. So give me just a minute to share my screen and we'll get started. It's covering up, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so this is the title, Package Your Story. When I do this training, I use these gold coins. I don't know if you can see them. I love a visual aid in all of my trainings, and I like a coin. I like to use that because we all know there's two sides to every coin, right? We all have change lying around, and that makes sense to us. So that's part of what I like to talk about in packaging your story, because we all come to this company and some of us are here because we had amazing product results and then the business just kind of happened for us. Others came to this company and saw the business and the product was a benefit and a great, you know, expectation of what happens after you start a business. And so we all have two sides to every coin in our storytelling. And so we're going to go through this. And I love this example because some of us have a health story. Well, actually, all of us have a health story. So let me back up. Because no matter what, if you've gotten results on the product, you have a health story. You have a product story. You know, I meet a lot of people that haven't received their product yet. And they're like, I don't have a product story. Well, share someone else's. But as soon as you take an energy drink or as soon as you put product in your body and you have a positive experience, you have a product story. So be proud of that. The next slide is your income story. You know, if you're watching this training, then you are here to learn how to build an income story. If you haven't yet earned an income, you will. Don't worry. If you continue to apply the teaching and the trainings that are within this little community, it will happen for you. And so, guys, I want you to kind of just understand that as I talk today, we have to know that just like a coin has two sides, we have two sides to our story. We have a product side and a financial side. So in your journal, as you're taking notes, I want you to really kind of have two columns as we go through, because what I want you to do is just keep the health things on the left and the income financial on the right, okay? So the next slide is this. These 5 W's have been around for a long time. These 5 W's just help you stay on task with where you're taking the conversation. You know, it's very simple, the 5 W's, where I was, what I saw, what I did, where I am at, and where I am going. I like to always remind people, and I'm going to say each one again, so if you missed it, you'll catch up. Don't worry about that. Each slide has the title on it as we go. But, you know, you really want to set a goal to be able to complete this in 2 minutes or less. This does take practice. So I encourage you to use your phone, hit record, practice, allow yourself to hear yourself, and also even send it to your upline, whoever you're working with, who's mentoring you, who's coaching you. You know, really work through this so that as you learn this, you can get it perfected. I like to use a treasure map here because it really allows us to understand that each W is a point. It's a stopping point where you're going to stop. You're going to spend some time talking before you go to the next point. And so right here, that starting point number 1 is where I was. No matter what, guys, this never changes. Our story is always our story. And we always go back to where we were before we found this company, before we found this product. And so that's encouraging because that will never change. Okay, so you've got to be able to write that down today. If you're brand new, this is easy for you probably because it's fresh in your mind. There may be people that are watching right now that have been involved for over 2 years or longer. You have to go back to that place and remember where you were, and you've got to be able to write that down. And the next slide kind of just gives you some suggestions. My goal for you today is to write down 3 things that are your own at every point, okay? So I always encourage people, definitely put your age in your story. You know, whether you're 25 years old coming out of college with a career on the horizon, or whether you're in your 50s or 60s ready for retirement or anything. You know, I think it's important for us because of the stage of life you're in. It really allows us to be relatable. And that's what we're looking for here, guys. You want to be transparent. You want to be authentic. You want to be real. And that is truth. So be truthful about where you were. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't embellish. Don't exaggerate. Be real. What is your career? You know, be proud of that. Do you have a retirement plan? You know, did you have a retirement plan? You know, are you in a place where you just were looking to change your perspective? You know, my health situation, maybe a financial situation, what was it? So I hope this helps and you find 3 things. And remember how I said the left side is your health side and the right side of your page is your financial side. So kind of keep that in mind as you work through this. And again, we're going to go through this pretty fast within, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then you're going to be able to come back through your notes and work through this and master your own story. Number 2 is what I saw. You know, what did you see here? What was it that stood out? What was it that allowed you to make a decision? You know, who introduced you? What was it about what they said? You know, maybe the product. What did you see with the product? What did you see with the business model? You know, this is something that only you can answer because it's genuine. It's truth. You know, was it just simply an opportunity to gain control of your health or your finances? What was it? You know, one of the things that I like to continue to remind people is that success is a journey, and it's not just you get out of the gate and you just become a millionaire overnight. No, we set really good expectations here. We encourage you to set goals, financial goals, health goals. You know, the first goal is always 90 days, then a year out. Then where do you want to be in 2 years, 5 years? Are you willing to really stick this out for 2 years, 5 years? Are you in a place where you can really kind of set some really good expectations and say, I am going to do this. I am not going to give up. I'm drawing a line in the sand and I'm doing it. This isn't a let's just see what happens. No, I want to move forward. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to change my future. That's what you can do here. So I always remember this picture because it's a mountaintop. We're going to go up some mountains. We're going to go down some mountains. We're going to be in the valley for a while. We're going to come right back up to another mountain. And guys, with that expectation, you have to know that happens in life, that happens in relationships, and that happens here in business. So number 3 is what I did. You know, what did you do? Come back to that place. You know, it's so important. We have to be proud of what we did. You know, did you take action? Of course you did. You got started. Did you take advantage of a pack? You probably did. And if not, you know, then you definitely want to get back on that track to do that, you know, but if you haven't, you can always, you know, share someone else's or just be proud of what you've done. You know, you're moving forward. But I always take this into consideration because it's so important to set the tone. And by you expressing what you did, guys, that paints a picture to the person that's listening. You're setting the tone. If you're just going to say, oh, I got some product and I got some great results on it and the product's amazing, you're setting the tone to the person you're talking to that this is a great product, okay? Or, hey, you know what? We saw business and we got started, we made our investment, and you know what? We started helping other people and it was so rewarding and we actually made our investment back. Do you see how the approach is a little different because of the expectation, right? So make sure you're fully aware of that. And that's why there's 2 sides of the paper right here. You're putting things on the left side and you're putting things on the right side, and they have to be true and authentic in yours. Number 4, where I'm at. Where are you right now? You know, this is something that's important because we have to be okay with where we are. You know, you may be just getting started and that's okay. That's great. You want to be there. But I want to talk to some of the people that are maybe in a little longer. You know, I mentioned 2 years or longer. You know, this is what's so great about events, conventions, conferences. We come back and we get to start over. It's another lap on the track. Guys, be proud of that. No matter what happens in your journey, whether it's the hill, the valley, you know, you've got to be proud of where you are right now. And this is the part where before in 1 through 3, your story really didn't change. But right now, as we go further and further on this journey towards success, we see changes in our story. So we have to be okay with that. You know, sometimes life happens, right? Sometimes life just comes at us with surprises. We have loss. You know, a lot of times people have to deal with grief. Personally, that happened to me. That was hard on me. I'd never experienced something like that before. Last year, I had an accident. I fell down the stairs and I was in the hospital for 6 days. I had to wait 2 weeks for the swelling to go down, had another surgery and 6 more days in the hospital. And then I couldn't go home for 3 months. I had to stay flat on my back for 3 months. Guys, that was a valley, right? You know, that's what happens sometimes. And you know what's great is that we get a reset. We get to focus on where we are right now. This is what's so amazing about this company is that, you know, we can be proud of where we are and we can go start again and we can have the encouragement to do that. And so that's part of what our story is right now. And here, you know, again, what is your health story? Where are you right now? You know, sometimes we don't really know how far we've come until we take a look back and seeing really how far we've come. You know, what was your first check? Any kind of positive experience that you've had, you know, this is a great time to write that in and put that in your story because it's yours. It belongs to you. You know, again, I'm talking about that reset because it's so great right here to say, you know what? Yes, I've been involved since September of 2010. And, you know, I just left the conference and we're starting again. You know, this is what's so great is that we can, and we're starting over and we're out here as if we just got started, you know, and right now I've taken a few days a week to really spend time sharing this company with people that I love and care about. You know, I've actually restarted a goal and I'm shooting for the next 90 days to attain this, you know, so that's part of how the conversation goes. And, you know, this is part of why it's yours. It's your story, guys. That's what's so great here. You know, this is a picture that I used in a training in 2012 and it says so much without a single word, doesn't it? And it's so important because it's so easy for us to look to our left. It's so easy for us to look to our right. Guys, especially in this industry where we see success or the appearance of success, and we instantly compare that success with our perspective, right? So guys, we cannot do that here in this industry. And this is part of why this industry is sometimes difficult for people is because they look and they think that that's the way it is. But when you look at this picture, I want you to think about this because that's your business. You know, sometimes we don't know what's really happening in other people's businesses. So we don't look there. Don't do it. Do not compete. Only work for yourself, of your story, of where you're going, your vision, your purpose, the reason you got started. Focus on that, guys. And this picture, draw it in your journal, take a picture of it, remember it, because it's so powerful. Wouldn't you agree? Number 5, where I'm going. Again, this is part of it. You can't be distracted with what's around you. Guys, this is what I want to encourage you to know. You know where you're going. Have conviction about that. Do you know? You know, call someone in your upline support team. Have a conversation. You know, kind of talk about it. Process with them until you know where you're going. You know, I remember meeting someone when we first got started, and she really didn't know anyone in this industry. She'd never met anyone that really had true success in this industry. So it really didn't feel like a belief to her. And I started introducing her to other people that had made $1 million in this industry. And I watched her confidence just strengthen. I watched her belief level rise. Guys, surround yourself with people that know where they're going, and you will get confidence from that. That's what I want to encourage you. That's what this community is for. Every day, you know, watch a video, stay plugged into the system, but know where you're going. You know, this is the notes. I want you, again, remember, I'm asking you to write 3 things that are your own on the left side of the page and the right side of the page. Your vision. What is it? Your goals. You know, I always encourage people, look for that 90-day goal, then a year, then 2 years, 5 years. You know, stay focused. Work with someone on your team that can help hold you accountable. Be specific, be real, make these things real for your family. Get your family involved in it. Celebrate the success together. You know, one of the things I'll tell you right here, this is one of our stories because, you know, we used to have money in the bank, you know, before this company. We'd had some success in other things, and you know, in business, we'd started a traditional business, and the economy happened in 2007, 2008, and beyond our own circumstances, right? We had things happen, life happened, and we depleted our savings account. We depleted that income that was in the bank that somehow crazily gave me, I'm trying to search for the word, so I'm going to just stop. But I want you to know that we had college in the bank at one time and it was depleted. And so when we started this, that was something that was important to me because I wanted that security there for my boys, right? For our kids. And guys, that was a goal for me. That was a goal to work towards. And we did it, you know, and I'll tell you that when Grayson, our oldest, was able to go to college, you know, when we sat in that office, we just pulled out the checkbook and wrote a check for his first year of tuition. And, you know, that's a dream come true. And that's what this can do. And that was ours. You know, now we can live a debt-free lifestyle. We can go on vacations. You know, that's part of what happens here. But what is your vision? What do you want? What are you working for? You know, that's part of what your story is. And that's why, you know, what I say, you know, you don't get to just copy what Cheryl Falkner says. You want to copy what you wrote down. You want to implement that into your story, and that's how it becomes powerful. You know, visualize it. You know, this is our shower, and, you know, we're still working towards visions and dreams we haven't achieved yet. You know, we want to be able to have a home on the ocean with our boat right out there and hop on the boat and go catch dinner, you know, so we visualize that. Guys, I want to encourage you, the power in that. And these are the 5 W's, you know, where I was, what I saw, what I did, where I'm at, and where I'm going. So I hope that this video brought value to you. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, come back and watch it again. And you know, just remember, there's 3 things about your story on each 5 W's, okay? And then you just want to practice that over and over within 2 minutes. And this is conversation. This is where you use this conversation when you're talking with someone. You know, you're always leading towards a presentation. This is where you want to always look for clues, look for cues in the conversation so that you can pull things out of your story. You don't ever want to say the name of the company, the name of the product until the presentation. Guys, that's what you're working towards. When you're sharing your story, this is not about you just talking. This is about you working towards the end in mind, right? We want to get a presentation with our prospect. We want to get a presentation in front of this person we're talking to. So our goal is to set the appointment. And then when the appointment is set, that's when we show them everything. Guys, that's how we use this. There's other ways to, you know, get an invitation. I have a training called the Power Line to Presentation. It's a one-liner, creating that curiosity for them to say, what is it? What do you do? Guys, I want to encourage you because there's also 3-point invitations. I'm trying to turn this off now. There's a lot of things that we can use, and it's effective. So with that, I'll say goodbye, and God bless you. Bye-bye.